15 Things You Didn't Know About HSBC. Welcome to Alux.com, the place where future billionaires come to get inspired. Hello Aluxers, and welcome to another exciting original video presented by Alux.com. Today we're revealing some interesting and surprising facts about HSBC Holdings, an incredibly successful multinational banking and financial services holding company. The Hong Kong Bank and Shanghai Bank, commonly known as HSBC, was created in 1865 with the intent to finance trade between Europe and Asia. By 1900, the bank had expanded its presence to 16 countries and was financing trade across the world. HSBC survived the darkest times of the past 100-plus years and came through each difficult time stronger and more resilient. In 1992, HSBC purchased the UK-based Midland Bank and had to move its head office from Hong Kong to London as a condition of the takeover. Today, HSBC has about 3,900 offices located in 67 countries and territories, serving around 38 million customers. HSBC currently has 4 global businesses: retail banking and wealth management, commercial banking, global banking and markets, and global private banking. It's now one of the most successful banks and brands in the world. We are inspired by HSBC's incredible success, resiliency, long history, and forward-thinking nature. So, let's take a closer look at this dominant company with the 15 things you didn't know about HSBC. Number 1. It's the 9th most valuable banking brand in the world. There are approximately 8,000 banking brands worldwide, and HSBC ranks in the top 10 of the most valuable among them. The most valuable bank globally is the Industrial and Commercial Bank of China, which is valued at $47.83 billion. Wells Fargo comes in second, with a value of $41.62 billion. HSBC takes the number 9 spot with a value of $20.69 billion. Number 2. The HSBC lions are named Stephen and Stitt. There are 2 lion sculptures that guard many HSBC offices around the world. The first pair of lions was created for the Shanghai office back in 1923. They were named Stephen and Stitt after 2 senior managers of the bank. Stitt has a calm demeanor to symbolize the bank's stability and security, while Stephen is roaring to convey the bank's strength and protective nature. The lions were so popular that copies were made for the Hong Kong head office, the London office, and then many other offices in various countries. Each lion weighs a ton and has 8 lucky coins buried in the base. Number 3. They have over $2 trillion in assets. As of September 2017, HSBC Holdings has $2.53 trillion in total assets. Their total assets passed the trillion-dollar benchmark by the end of 2003 and have been steadily growing ever since. These assets include $132 billion in cash, $811 billion in investments, $768 billion in loans, and $7.6 billion in property. Number 4. Most of their employees became prisoners of war during World War II. Throughout World War II, the majority of HSBC staff members became prisoners of war in Asia. The only way the company survived was thanks to its London Advisory Committee, which was given the power to act as a board in 1943. The London, Indian, and US branches were the only ones that remained in operation during this time. After the war was over, HSBC restored its head office in Hong Kong, and the company played an integral role in rebuilding the Hong Kong economy. Number 5. HSBC is the 50th most valuable brand in the world. HSBC Holdings comes right between the German conglomerate Siemens and clothing retailer Zara on the Forbes list of the world's most valuable brands. HSBC earned this spot due to its $162.6 billion market cap and its $62.09 billion in sales. It also is the 49th biggest public company in the world. Number 6. Their hexagon symbol was based on the Scottish flag. HSBC was founded by Sir Thomas Sutherland, a Scottish banker and politician. The current hexagon symbol wasn't created until 1983, but it was based on the bank's house flag, which was inspired by the Scottish flag of its founder. The house flag is a white rectangle, divided diagonally to create a red hourglass shape, and has been in use since the late 19th century. Number 7. Chinese people refer to the bank as Foon. Ever since the bank became popular in Hong Kong in the late 19th century, the Chinese population of Hong Kong has referred to HSBC by the nickname Foon, which translates as abundance of remittances or focus of wealth. Number 8. One man kept the bank from failing in the late 19th century. HSBC owes much of its success to Irish businessman Thomas Jackson. When he took over as chief manager in 1877, the bank was down to only 100,000 Hong Kong dollars from its original 1 million Hong Kong dollar reserve. Jackson turned the bank around and launched an era of incredible success and expansion. He retired in 1888, but twice came out of retirement in 1890 and 1893 when the bank fell into crisis to turn things around. He was knighted in 1899, and HSBC erected a statue of him in Hong Kong's Statue Square in 1902 that still stands today. Number 9. Some staff had to agree not to get married for 10 years. In the early days of the bank, junior officers had to agree to wait 10 years to get married. This period is called being on ice. This was meant to guarantee the mobility and flexibility of the bank's staff, and it also saved the bank money since they had to pay for the housing of married staff. Some junior officers married in secret, but were fired if the marriage was discovered. This earned HSBC the nickname of the heart and soul of breaking corporation. In the 1950s, the rule was relaxed to only 4 years before it was eventually phased out completely. Number 10. HSBC sponsored the Jaguar Formula One team for 7 years. In order to gain even greater brand recognition, HSBC established a partnership with the Jaguar Formula One racing team back in 1997, becoming their principal sponsor. The group chairman of HSBC said the partnership offered an unrivaled opportunity to reach a global audience of over 325 million people per race weekend. HSBC maintained the partnership until the Jaguar racing team was purchased by Red Bull from Ford in 2004. You can find out some more interesting facts about the energy drink company by clicking in the top right corner to watch our video of 15 things you didn't know about Red Bull. Number 11. HSBC built an extravagant head office in the midst of the Great Depression. HSBC showed their strength and resiliency when, in 1935, in the middle of the Great Depression, they set out to build an extravagant, cutting-edge head office building in Hong Kong. The architects were simply told to build the best bank in the world. The structure was finished in just 21 months, and at 220 feet in height, it was the highest structure at the time from Cairo to San Francisco. The office was first built in Hong Kong to have air conditioning, and it also had high-speed elevators and was decorated with European marble. Number 12. The first U.S. branch opened in 1955. In the 1950s, HSBC went through a period of expansion to help diversify its business through a series of acquisitions and alliances. One important step for the company was establishing its first subsidiary of the U.S. in 1955, which was the Hong Kong and Shanghai Banking Corporation of California. Its American presence was greatly increased after HSBC acquired the Republic National Bank of New York in 1999 for $10.3 billion. Number 13. They were the first bank to operate in Thailand. HSBC was the first bank of any kind to open in Thailand. Its Bangkok branch was established in 1888 at the request of the Thai monarchy, and one of the first Thai customers was the country's ruler at the time, King Chulalongkorn. HSBC also helped to develop the nation's economy by issuing Thailand's first banknotes in 1889. Number 14. HSBC was fined $1.9 billion for money laundering in 2012. HSBC has been involved in a number of controversies in recent years. They've been accused of fraudulent practices, manipulating currencies, assisting violent dictators, processing funds for illegal Mexican cartels, and more. The bank has been investigated and accused of money laundering several times, notably by the governments of the UK, India, Argentina, and the US. In 2012, HSBC was fined $1.9 billion for violating 4 U.S. laws in connection with money laundering and assisting Iran and North Korea to bypass U.S. nuclear weapon sanctions. The $1.9 billion was the largest fine ever under the Bank Security Act, but it only represents about 5 weeks of profit for HSBC. Number 15. The Hong Kong head office was the most expensive building in the world in 1985. When a new HSBC headquarters was built in Hong Kong's Central District in 1985, the 47-story structure became the most expensive building in the world, costing $668 million to complete. The building uses a total of 716 intelligent lighting units, which includes over 1 kilometer of LED lighting around the top of the building that are displayed nightly in the Hong Kong Symphony of Lights. Now that you've learned some more about HSBC, we'd like to know, do you do business with this bank? What's your opinion of it? Let us know down in the comments. Still here? Here's a bonus fact just for you. HSBC's 1985 Hong Kong headquarters was made without any internal supporting structures. It was constructed from 5 steel modules that were prefabricated in the UK and shipped to Hong Kong. This construction makes it possible for the building to be dismantled and moved in a relatively short amount of time. Thank you for spending some time with us, Aluxer. Make sure to subscribe so you never miss a video. If you want more, we handpicked these videos you might enjoy, or head over to Alux.com for the best in fine living content on the planet. Be a part of the largest community of luxury enthusiasts in the world and tell your story.